Hello friends, welcome to lesson 1, definition, nature and scope of industrial sociology. Introduction. We can understand various phenomena from sociological perspective by applying different sociological principles. Even industrial organizations can be studied from sociological viewpoints. Industrial sociology in nutshell is the result of application of sociological principles to industries. After completion of this lesson, you will be able to define industrial sociology. You will be able to understand about nature of industrial sociology. You will be able to elaborate on the scope of industrial sociology. So, let us begin our discussion about industrial sociology. Industry is defined as the application of complex and sophisticated methods to production of economic goods and services. It is a type of commercial undertaking that provides goods and services. The diversified use of machines and complex methods have been devised to improve the quantity and quality of production. Modern industry originated during the Industrial Revolution, accelerating the process of industrialization. Thus, the development of industries affects almost every aspect of society which is being studied. Industry is the branch of economic activity concerned with manufacturing goods, whether finished or products or semi-products, that is products that go into other products from raw materials. Industrial sociology uses the methods to understand industrial phenomena. It is a substantive area of general sociology which can also be called as sociology of work organization. It mainly concerns itself with the application of sociological principles to the study of economic structures, changes in the structures and values and ideologies related to them. These principles are applied at social, community and work levels because the development of industry affects the society and community. In modern times, industrialization also pertains to the vast expanding service sector. Industrial sociology is concerned with industry as a social system, including such factors like technical, economic, political, which affect the structure, the functions and the changes in that particular system. The adjective industrial implies the application of sociological theories and methods in one segment of society, that is, one concerned with the economic function of producing and distributing the goods and services which society requires. Industrial sociology came into use in the middle of 20th century owing to the famous experiments conducted by George Elton Mayo and his associates during late 20s and early 30s at Hawthorne Works in Chicago. It is the application of sociological approach to the reality and problems of industry. The importance attached to the subject can be gauged to the fact that India as an example has committed to the industrial development as a necessary means to solve its economic and social problems. When we look at different definitions of industrial sociology, H.J. Smith says that industrial sociology is the study of social relations in industrial and organizational setting and the way these relations influence and are influenced by relations in the wider community. Charles B. Spalding says industrial sociologists center their interests upon the social organization of the workplace, including the pattern of interaction between people who are responding to each other in terms of their roles in work organizations or whose behavior is being affected by those roles. Industrial sociology is the study of the structures and processes of the industries and work organizations as these interact with society. The field of industrial sociology is concerned broadly with the study of industrial society and also with the analysis of social organization of work. After the popular experiment of Elton Mayo, industrial sociology rapidly grew as an area of theoretical research and not just practical application to aid industrialists to the increase of productivity of labor. Hawthorne experiments, which Elton Mayo conducted at the Western Electrical Company, brought into focus the role of human relations approach in workspace. In 1927, a group of researchers led by Elton Mayo and Fritz Rosenberger of Harvard Business School were invited to join in the studies at the Hawthorne Works of Western Electric Company, Chicago. The experiment lasted up to 1932. The Hawthorne experiment brought out that the productivity of the employees is not the function of only physical conditions of work and money or the wages paid to them. Productivity of employees also depends heavily upon the satisfaction of the employees in their work situation. Mayo's idea was that logical factors were far less important than emotional factors in determining productivity efficiency. Furthermore, of all the human factors influencing employee behavior, the most powerful were those emanating from the workers' participation in the social groups. Thus, Mayo concluded that work arrangements, in addition to meeting the objective requirements of production, must at the same time satisfy the employee's subjective requirement of social satisfaction at his workplace. Let us now try to understand the nature of industrial sociology. With the increase of industrialization and globalization and vast developing economy, it is very important for us to realize the human potential in order to compete in the vast competition. In order to realize human potential, it is important to understand human behaviors in the first place in a given situation. Industrial sociology serves as a platform to learn about such human pattern of interaction and behavior. Industrial sociology is concerned with study of industrial society and organizations and analyzes the social organization of work. It can also study any type of work organization. It thus focuses on the economic activities concerned with the processing of raw materials, manufacture of goods in factories and services being offered by different service industries. Industrial sociology joins the work of groups and internal relationships, the role of groups of workers and study of machine and tools in social welfare. According to William Fons, who says that while industrial sociologists differs in their definitions of the field, there is remarkable consistency in the kinds of material included in industrial sociology texts. All these texts include sections on work group on the structure of industrial bureaucracy, and on union management relations. Almost all contain some discussion of the industrial process, of major work roles in industry, and of the internal organization of trade unions. Industrial sociology studies the internal relation transaction processes and methods. According to Eugene Schneider, industrial sociology studies factories' relationship. With the rise of industrialization, rose interest in socio-economic aspects of industrial societies. While elaborating on the nature of industrial sociology, it is important to note that it has blurred counters and seems to be very close to different social sciences, including economics. Adam Smith addressed the philosophical issues and moral sentiments attached to economic activities. Later, he turned his attention to the social, that is macroscopic, and organizational, that is microscopic roles in society of capitalists and laborers. He regarded effective mobilization and utilization of labor as the true wealth of a nation instead of material things such as silver and gold. Smith's work on free trade, minimal government interference, the role of differentiated divisions of labor, the rise of factory system laid out the basics for modern industrial sociological research, economic organization, managers and workers' waves, economic exchange and trade, the correlation between technology and division of labor, the distributive effect of industrialization on national stratification system, etc. Industrial organization is basically a social system. It is not just a techno-economic system. The employer can be motivated by psychological and social wants because his behavior is also influenced by feelings, emotions and attitudes. Thus, economic incentives are not the only method to motivate people. Management must learn to develop cooperative attitudes and not rely merely on command. Participation becomes an important instrument in human relations movement as well. In order to achieve participation, effective two-way communication network is also essential. Productivity is linked with employee satisfaction in any business organization. Therefore, management must take greater interest in employee satisfaction. The concept of industrial sociology is wide and is very vital to the organization. The discipline is characterized by identification of the problems existing in the industry and also gives us the probable solutions to it. The flow of human interaction and interpersonal relationships is assessed, which helps in understanding the social and communication structure. Industrial sociology evaluates the depth of industrialization, globalization and also the magnitude of the problems arising along with the industrial development. It thus facilitates industrial planning in maintaining a good relationship between the labor unions and the management. The trade relations can be easily identified and chaos within the organization channels can also be reduced. The most important reason would be to maintain peace and prosperity within an organization. Most industrial sociologists regard the factory as a social system as we have discussed. It is also seen as a small society, but it is not enough to state that an industry is a social system because the same is true of a family, a community and a nation also. What has to be explored is the specific nature of these kind of social systems that are economic organizations, the characteristics that distinguish them from other social systems. It may well be that the differentiating line is to be found in the nature of the integration of rational and non-rational or instrumental and expressive elements. Moreover, some industries seem to not be just a small society, but a part of other systems, for example, part of the social system of a community. In these cases, some basic functions which every social system or subsystem has to fulfill in order to exist are carried on for the industry by the community. The nature of industrial sociology is characterized by different types of relations, including internal and external relations. So, let us discuss these relations very briefly. When we talk about external relations, a factory, mill or industry's relation with other industries, government and social organizations are categorized as external relations. Industries need a license from the government, advertisements with the media and recruitment from the educational institutions. Their relations with all these institutions come under the category of external relations. With regard to internal relations, it is the social or interpersonal relations between individuals within the same industry. For example, the interpersonal relation between owner, the managerial staff and the laborers of a single industrial complex. These can further be divided into formal, informal and mixed relations. Formal relations are those relations that form between individuals by virtue of their role or status in the industry. These relations are strictly non-personal and have no emotions attached with it. For example, the relation between the boss and employee or two co-workers who are not friends. With regard to informal relations, they are the personal relations within a workspace which operate according to emotions and passions. These may develop between individuals or groups. For example, two co-workers may be friends or workers may get divided into factions where one faction develops hostility against the other faction. With regard to mixed relations, the relations which are neither completely formal nor completely informal fall into this category. For example, a party or get together after work between the managerial staff and laborers would fall in this category. Industrial sociology deals more with the efforts, labor and skills of man. It plays a vital role in building nation as it helps in increasing the production and thus helps in improving the GDP. Quality and competition have become critical concerns for industrial enterprises today. Simultaneously, better profitability and industrial legislations also impact the industrial functioning. It is indeed a coordinated structure with dimensions like market research, product development, manufacturing, engineering, purchasing, production, inspection, marketing and after sales service. So, the study of formal structure of economic organizations, the division of labor and the lines of communication and authority is conducted mainly as part of the study of administration. Although this type of investigation is relatively well developed in regard to some kinds of organizations such as hospitals, its application to industries leaves much to be done. Often it is assumed that because the latter are close to generic model of organization, there is little need to study the specific nature of their administrative structure. Let us now try to understand the scope of industrial sociology. The scope of industrial sociology covers study of diversified areas like workplace, working groups, industrial bureaucracy, industrial relations, causes of industrialism, etc. Industrial sociology is an applied discipline, and that is why it is concerned with the study of human relations as they grow and operate in the field of industries. It deals with the sociological concepts that have relevance to industry. It concentrates upon the social organizations of the workplace or industry. It studies the patterns of interaction between people in terms of their roles in industrial organizations. Industrial organizations are also studied by other disciplines such as industrial management, industrial engineering, industrial psychology and economics, but they study the phenomena of industry in a very different way and perspective. Their studies sometimes may overlap. For instance, industrial engineering deals with the design of products and equipments, and industrial management is more of an art rather than a science. Industrial psychology studies the selection of personnel, job satisfaction, motivation and incentives to work, team spirit, accident proneness and such other personal matters and behavioral problems. Economics concentrates on such matters as prices, wages, profits, full employment, finance, monopoly, marketing, taxation, etc. But none of these sciences focuses its attention on the social or human aspect of the industrial organizations. This task is done only by industrial sociology. Industrial sociology studies industrial organization not as a technological or economic organization, but more than that as a social or human organization. It stresses upon the social or interactional factors in industrial relations, formal and informal organization, teamwork, communication, etc. Tom Burns, English sociologist, has classified the subject matter of industrial sociology in these ways. He talks about bureaucracy, which focuses on the analysis of the bureaucratic machinery, that is the behavior and attitude of the officers, managers at different levels and workers. He also focuses on study of functions, that is the study of the workplace as a system by which individuals achieve a balance between work and their own goals in the form of complex organic or social technical systems. Study of functional group. The study of informal groups of working individuals and the contrast of the system of relationships, aims and beliefs, especially with the management. Burns also talks about analysis of industrial relationships, which highlight the study of trade union behavior, labor organizations, bargaining procedures, as industrial relations are complex. Burns also talks about influence of industrialism on the individual, which analyzes the impact of industrialism on the social life of workers as individuals, including balance and interaction between work and non-work areas of life. Industrial sociology is an applied discipline and it studies the processes of industrialization historically. It looks at the influence of physical and social environment on industrial development and vice versa. Industrial sociology studies the role of government also and that of state in industrial management and development and helps in the formation of government policies in relation to industries, the education system for a better workforce, loans to industries, etc. Industrial sociology deals with the total organization of the workplace, and it also deals with three different organizations which may be conceived as distinguishable but interrelated. What are they? They are management organization, informal organization of workers, and union organization. Management organization refers to the relations between management and the workers. It also includes policies, programs, structures and functioning of the management. Its main emphasis is on the formal relations developed by workers with the management. With regard to informal organization of workers, consists of informal relations developed voluntarily by the workers themselves. Such relations are established by the individuals and the small groups within the factory or industry. Such organizations assume the forms of cliques, gangs, friendship groups, bands, etc. These organizations develop their own informal norms to control the activities of the members. The union organization refers to the role of trade unions and the participation or involvement of workers in union activities. Trade unions are playing a vital role increasing industrial unrest also and maintaining industrial peace on the other hand as well. They also control the formal and informal relations of the workers. These three organizations of the industry are affected by the physical conditions of the workplace, fashion in management thinking, governmental and other social control, the personalities of the employees and their experiences in playing roles in other organizations. Industrial sociology studies and explores emerging social industrial phenomena and theories that allows for better administration of industries. Industries operate in dynamic social milieu and therefore the impact of technological innovations, globalization, political factors have to be analyzed. The revolution in industrial age has led to differences in status and role of social institutions which has created social unrest. Industrial sociology allows for the study of problems and proposes solutions to problems such as strikes, lockdowns, unemployment, wages, health and sanitation, housing, education, social security, etc. Interestingly, industrial sociology is also used for personality development of those individuals involved in industry. Family is the central social unit of society. Most families in poor industrial neighborhoods face social evils such as poor recreation, prostitution, alcoholism, unhealthy living conditions, overcrowding, etc. Industrial sociology addresses these issues as well. Industrial planning is critical for the success of industrial functioning. In the age of planning, industrial sociology makes industrial processes more efficient by gaining maximum output out of the minimum input. This planning is possible only with the knowledge base provided by industrial sociology. Economic stability, labor satisfaction and efficient distribution of resources which can be achieved with the help of industrial sociology allows for maintenance of national and international peace and prosperity also. Industrial sociology indeed contributes towards this. Analysis of the informal structure of industries is one of the most important contributions of industrial sociology to the study of organization in general. Examination of the relationships between the two aspects of organization, that is formal and informal, constitutes a source of many interesting insights into the functioning of organizations and has become an integral part of the approach of industrial sociologists to economic organizations. With specific reference to India, industrial sociology is of immense significance. In India, division of labor has been traditionally based upon caste system. Industrial sociology facilitates to understand and acknowledge the significance of skills for different activities in industrial setup. Industrial sociology can help in the process of division of labor. Economic prosperity can also be attained by agricultural development, employment, generation and production of goods. This can be attained through industrial progress. In fact, economic development is essentially industrial development. Industrial development is the subject of the study of industrial sociology that may give directions to economic progress in India. Industrial sociology, through its various mechanisms, helps in enabling social welfare of the people and also strengthening the labor organizations. It may be useful in the realization of nationalization of essential industries. Industrial peace and progress depend upon the relationship between the employer and the employee. Thus, industrial sociology deals with diversified factors such as working conditions, rates of wages, security of jobs, provision of housing and scientific method of progress. Thus, my dear friends, the scope of industrial sociology helps to improve the relation of employer and employee. Now, let us summarize this lesson. Industrial sociology is concerned with industry as a social system, including factors such as technical, economic, political, which affect the structure, functions and the changes in that system. Industrial sociology studies the structures and processes of the industries and work organizations as these interact with society. We have discussed that after popular experiment of Elton Mayo, industrial sociology as a discipline rapidly grew as an area of theoretical research and not just practical application to aid industrialists to increase the productivity of labor. Industrial sociology is characterized by different types of relations including internal and external, and as an applied discipline, industrial sociology is concerned with study of human relations as they grow and operate in the field of industries. It deals with the sociological concepts that have relevance to industry. Thank you.